Hello students, in the last class we discussed about the chemical properties of the 16th group element, that is reaction with hydrogen, oxygen and halogen. In this class we can study about the compounds of oxygen. In our syllabus they mention two compounds, one is dioxygen, another one is ozone. For these two compounds, you have to study about the preparation and the properties. First, we consider the dioxygen, that is O2. Next, in that one, first one is preparation. For the preparation, first method is by the thermal decomposition. By the thermal decomposition of potassium chlorate in the presence of the MnO2 as the catalyst, manganese dioxide as the catalyst. The potassium chlorate formula is KClO3. Thermal decomposition means upon heating in the presence of the MnO2. It is very important even for catalysis. That is, it is an example for the homogeneous catalysis because KClO3 is in the solid, MnO2 is in the solid state. Reactant and catalyst are in the same phase, then it is called homogeneous catalysis. Decomposition of potassium chlorate by using MnO2, manganese dioxide, also called pyrolusite, is an example for homogeneous catalysis. This potassium chlorate decomposes to give KCl and O2, 2 KClO3, that forms 2 KCl and 3O2. 2 KCl and 3O2. This is the first method, very important one. Second method is again by the thermal decomposition of the oxides of the metal with higher electrode potential. Oxides of the metal with higher electrode potential on thermal decomposition, they gives the dioxygen. That higher electrode potential metals are silver oxide Ag2O. They lies below in the electrochemical series silver as well as the mercury. These are having a positive electrode potential. They lies below in the electrochemical series that comes under an electrochemistry. This Ag2O on thermal decomposition or HgO on thermal decomposition, they gives Ag and O2, Hg and O2. That is, if you to balance this one, 2Ag2O forms 4Ag plus O2. Similarly, 2HgO gives 2Hg plus O2. This is the second method. Then third method is again by the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide. By the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide by using MnO2 as the catalyst, pyrolusite as the catalyst, that is H2O2, it is liquid. Then in the presence of MnO2 catalyst, then MnO2 is solid. Reactant is liquid, catalyst is solid. That is, reactant and catalyst, they are in the different physical state. Then it is called heterogeneous catalysis. KClO3 decomposition is homogeneous catalysis. Hydrogen peroxide decomposition is heterogeneous catalysis. This decomposes to give water and oxygen. That is, to balance this one, 2H2O2 gives 2H2O, 2H2O plus O2. Then again, by the thermal decomposition of the oxides of the heavy metals, oxides of the heavy metals like lead, decomposition, thermal decomposition of the oxides of heavy metals, we get a dioxygen, that is PbO2. PbO2 that decomposes, that is upon heating, that gives PbO, and O2. PbO, it has a residue. Then 2PbO2, 2PbO plus O2, or even Pb3O4 upon decomposition, that forms PbO plus O2. PbO plus O2, that is 2Pb3O4, 6PbO, or even barium BaO2, barium oxide BaO2 decomposition gives BaO plus O2, BaO plus O2, that is 2BaO2. This is the decomposition of the heavy metals. Or even in our syllabus they are not mentioned, but it is comes under the D block, that KMnO4, potassium permanganate on decomposition, that decomposes to give K2MnO4, potassium manganate, MnO2 and O2, or even potassium dichromate on decomposition, K2Cr2O7, potassium dichromate, 4 moles of potassium dichromate on decomposition, you get K2CrO4, potassium chromate, K2CrO4, potassium chromate, then 2 C moles of Cr2O3, as well as an O2, 3 moles of the O2. These are important for the competitive exam. That potassium permanganate on decomposition, that gives potassium manganate, MnO2 and O2. Even dichromate on decomposition gives an O2. This is the thermal decomposition process. Then one more method is that is on large scale. On large scale, this dioxygen is prepared by the electrolysis of water. That is by passing current through the water. You get hydrogen at the cathode and oxygen at the anode. Oxygen is obtained at the anode. On large scale, dioxygen is obtained by the electrolysis of the water. Then we get hydrogen at the cathode and oxygen at the anode. Then one more, industrial method. Industrially, dioxygen is obtained from the air, atmospheric air. Industrially, dioxygen is obtained from the atmospheric air. In the atmospheric air, carbon dioxide and moisture, water vapors are removed. Carbon dioxide and water vapors are removed first, which are present in the dry air, they can be removed. Then remaining gases are liquefied. And subjected to fractional distillation. By removing carbon dioxide and water vapors, remaining gases are liquefied and subjected to fractional distillation. We get dinitrogen and dioxygen. Dinitrogen is obtained nearly at 77 Kelvin and dioxygen is obtained at 90 Kelvin. This is about the preparation of the dioxygen. You note down this one. you get 1 mark. They can ask for complete the equations. Completing the equations, these are all important. You have to practice the reactions. These are about the methods of preparation. Next, we can study about the properties. In that properties, dioxygen is a colorless. It is a colorless and odorless gas. Dioxygen not possess any color or smell. It is a colorless and odorless gas. It has 3 stable isotopes. It has 3 stable isotopes like O16, O17 and O18. It has 3 stable isotopes. Then dioxygen is paramagnetic. The magnetic nature of the dioxygen is paramagnetic. Even though it contains E1 electrons, that is 16 electrons are present in the dioxygen. Even though it has even number of electrons, dioxygen is paramagnetic in nature, because according to molecular orbital theory, that can be explained by using molecular orbital theory. According to molecular orbital theory, that is pi star 2px and pi star 2py, they contains 1 electrons, odd number of the electrons, unpaired electrons. According to molecular orbital theory, pi star 2px and pi star 2py orbital, they contains odd electrons. Hence, that dioxygen is paramagnetic even though it contains a even number of the electrons. Then you study the chemical properties. In that chemical properties, this dioxygen reacts with most of the metals and non-metals. Dioxygen reacts with most of the metals and non-metals except noble metals like gold, silver, platinum and that noble gases. Except with noble metals and noble gases, that dioxygen reacts with most of the metals and with the non-metals. Then reaction with other element. The reaction with other elements of the dioxygen is generally exothermic in nature. Reaction of dioxygen with other element is exothermic in nature. Heat is liberated. Then to initiate the reaction, that is to start the reaction, to initiate the reaction, some external energy is supplied. To initiate the reaction, some external energy is required, and then only that dioxygen combines with the other element. If we not supply the external energy to initiate the reaction, dioxygen never combines with other element. To initiate the reaction, we have to supply some external energy. Then only dioxygen combines with the other element. Why that we have to supply this external energy to initiate the reaction means that oxygen double bond, oxygen double bond needs to be broken, and bond dissociation enthalpy is very high. Oxygen O double bond O bond dissociation enthalpy is very high. To break this bond, you have to supply the external energy. Hence, to initiate the reaction, you have to supply external energy. Then only oxygen combines with other element. But reaction with other element generally exothermic in nature. In our syllabus, few examples are given with metals and non-metals. For example, one is C plus O2. C plus O2 forms CO2. Then S plus O2 forms SO2. Phosphorus plus O2. Phosphorus plus O2 forms P4O10 or P2O5. 4P plus 5O2. Then aluminium Al plus O2, it is the metal, forms Al2O3. Al2O3. 4Al plus 3O2. 2Al2O3. These are all important for completing the equation. 2Mg, they only give the left hand side reactant. We have to remember the products only. Mg plus O2, Mg plus O2, that gives 2MgO. 2MgO is formed. Then similarly 2Ca plus O2, that forms the 2CaO. 2CaO. Or if you burn the hydrocarbon CH4 plus O2, that forms CO2 and H2O. CO2 and H2O. It is 2O2. 2H2O. 2O2 and 2H2O. Then 2SO2 plus O2, it is important one. In sulfuric acid we are using in the presence of V2O5, that forms 2SO3. 2SO3. Then 2HCl plus O2. HCl plus O2. 4HCl plus O2 in the presence of cupric chloride. It is also important, that is Deacon's process for the preparation of the dichlorine. Cl2 plus H2O. Cl2 plus H2O. 2Cl2 plus 2H2O. Then C2H4. C2H4 plus O2, that forms the CO2 plus H2O. To balance this reaction, 2CO2, then 2H2O, then 3O2. These are all important one. Just they will ask for completing the equation. This is contact process. Manufacture of sulfuric acid by contact process. Very important one. 2SO2 plus O2 SO3. This is the Deacon's process for the preparation of the dichlorine. This is also important one. Explain Deacon's process. HCl plus O2 in the presence of cupric chloride catalyst, dichlorine is formed. You have to remember the products formed in these reactions. They will ask for completing the equations. Then finally, last one is uses. That dioxygen is used for normal respiration and combustion process. For respiration and combustion process, we are using the dioxygen. That it is used in oxyacetylene welding. That is, during welding, we are using an oxyacetylene flame. Oxyacetylene flame. Oxyacetylene in welding. In the manufacture of the steel, we are used this dioxygen, LD process. For the manufacture of steel, we are called as an LD process. In that LD process, we are using dioxygen for the manufacture of the steel. Then used as an oxidizing agent in rocket fuels. Then oxygen cylinders are widely used in the hospitals. Oxygen cylinders are used in the hospitals. This is about the dioxygen. The next class, we will study about the ozone.